Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Hey, Efron.
How's it going, man?
Officer Giesbrecht, City of Hamilton bylaw. I have you here in violation of the Reopening of Ontario Act, gathering with a crowd of more than 5 people.
So that's a pre-written ticket again, just for the record?
There's your provincial offense.
Thank you.
Now this is an administrative penalty notice.
Oh, for what?
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is for shaking hands with the public.
No way.
Fail to maintain a distance of at least 2 meters from another person. Section bylaw 20164, section 2.1.
Ontario,
So another ticket here.
Stay-at-home policy for businesses.
More tickets here.
It's an absolute
And we have the police here.
We have every right to have peaceful
This is a kind of like a police state. I know you guys are just doing your job, but this is unbelievable.
System. I gotta go home and have lunch too.
This is way overkill. There's what, maybe 5 protesters here.
I got an 880 and I got 2 880 tickets.
That's unbelievable. What do you have to say to like this government and let's say, you know, Doug Ford's watching right now. What do you have to say to him?
Doug Ford, you're a disgrace.
I haven't been given any notice. So guys watching, I've been trespassed for simply reporting and putting it on my blast. Because they're afraid to see this in public. They're afraid to see what they're doing in Hamilton, Ontario. And I've been trespassed for simply holding the camera to them. Ticketed each. Can you explain for what reason were you guys ticketed?
Violating the stay-at-home orders.
Officer, so what exactly do the photos go to? Is it going to court evidence? Is it going to these tickets? Is it going for police records or something?
Either all of us have rights or none of us have rights.
It's selective
And
enforcement.
if you don't think these people should have rights, then one day they're coming for you.
Hey guys, had a video for Rebel News, Efron Monsanto here, and I'd like to bring you another report from my adventures in Hamilton, Ontario. Now, as you know, I've been going down to the same lockdown protest for the last nearly 2 months. And you may have seen the viral footage for shaking hands with one of the protesters. That's right, the revenue agents and the armed thugs that follow them have actually come out and given me not only 1 ticket, but 2 that same day at the same time for the same offense. And you can hear in the video clip for shaking hands with one of the protesters.
There's your provincial offense.
Thank you.
Now this is an administrative penalty notice.
Oh, for
City of
what?
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is for shaking hands with the public.
No way.
Fail to maintain a distance of at least 2 meters from another person. Section bylaw 20164, section 2.1.
Now, this is why I come back every single week to that same spot for the last 7 weeks to show you this kind of footage, because this is unbelievable in a free country, let alone Canada, let alone Ontario. Now, that was last week. That was before the stay-at-home order lifted, so that's why they were out there enforcing. However, I went back there again May 30th for the last protest that's illegal under the stay-at-home order. And as you know, from our reporting from all of our colleagues here at the office, protesting is not an essential reason. Don't believe me, you don't have to. Take a look. Protesting is not an essential reason.
I don't.
Why don't I have the right to speak what's on my heart?
Mainstream media has decided to sit this one out. Nothing to see here, folks.
My colleague Tamara Ugolini, she reported that the Cobourg police are feeling that enforcing these unconscionable lockdown protest orders, that they're feeling demoralized and they're going through some emotional issues. So I reached out to the Hamilton police, the city of Hamilton, Andrea Horvath, and even the mayor. And as expected, they did not reply to my emails. As you know, thank you for watching this video, because our elected officials and our elected leaders truly don't care about us and don't want to hold any sort of accountability. So I went back to that same protest to see, are the police gonna hand me another 2 tickets? This is my 4th ticket from that same location. Oh, I'm actually being ticketed? I'm actually being ticketed, guys, on camera. Take a look at this, guys. So what am I being charged for again? Oh, you have a pre-written ticket for me? No way. Wait, this is an 880 COVID fine? Now take a look at this. After being humiliated on the global stage, millions of views on different platforms, the Hamilton police and the city of Hamilton bylaw revenue agents, they actually didn't show up. Guys, I think we have a small victory here. Yeah, and I'm not kidding. Take a look at this. They actually sent out one of their police members by himself. And guys, he put on his mask just before he walked up to me. And yeah, he says he's not here to ticket. And he waved to the crowd. Guys, is this good optics for you or what? How's it going, officer? What's going on today?
Oh, I'm just walking through City Hall.
Oh, you're not going to hand out tickets today?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, great.
No.
It's good to hear. Thank you. This is a small victory for the protesters that day and for press freedom, and that I'm not being assaulted with tickets and financially extorted once again. However, there's still dozens and dozens of tickets handed to these protesters over the last 6 months, and there's still a lot of injustice and accountability to be held towards the city of Hamilton and the police for doing what they did. And like I said before, they actually come to these protesters' houses at night. So even though they didn't do the ticket front facing, I'm still expecting a trespass notice in the mail, along with whatever amount of tickets they want to send me, along with these protesters here that day. One of the protesters reached out to me and showed me one of the tickets that these cowards couldn't hand out in person from that same day. Like I said, guys, this is only for optics. Don't believe them. At another point too, the revenue agents are handing out the white municipal ticket, and this is harder to fight than a regular provincial 880 fine. With these 560 white tickets, you can only appeal to a screening officer who just decides whether or not you broke the bylaw or not. And according to these clown bylaw rules, yeah, you can't shake hands, according to the city of Hamilton. So the revenue agents are being more malicious by handing out the 880 fine to not only myself, and also the municipal fine to these protesters and reporters alike, just to stick it to us. Unbelievable. As I do every week, I went live that same day after getting ticketed, just for my safety, because as you know, these police officers and bylaw, they've got a little frisky in the past before. They've been violent towards the previous protesters, and to showcase this kind of brutality and this kind of waste of resources during these crazy times. Take a look at some of this footage. This is crazy.
There's your provincial offense.
Thank you.
Now this is an administrative penalty notice.
Oh, for what?
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is for shaking hands with the public.
No way.
Fail to maintain a distance of at least 2 meters from another person. Section bylaw 20164, section 2.1. Once again, your options are on the back. Voluntary payment, or you have the option to be with an officer, and you can argue. Okay?
So that's that's strictly just for shaking hands with someone.
For shaking hands, not maintaining 2 meter physical.
That's exactly what we are.
They're still ticketing people. This is kind of crazy.
Health and freedom. Ontario.
So another ticket here.
Stay-at-home policy for Mr.
More tickets here.
It's an absolute
And we have the
violation.
police here.
We have every right to have peaceful suffrage.
Oh, sir, just a quick question. Oh, Matthew, as you know, you're the only person out here with a name tag. You guys all don't have name tags here. What's going on there?
Read off the Canadian Bill of Rights.
Then we have here the actual officers.
Police officers, come on.
I guess here to escort the bylaw. It's kind of weird.
Mr. C. Doug Ford, who shut down all the gyms.
This is kind of like a police state. I know you guys are just doing your job, but this is unbelievable.
All right, and good nutrition. And being
Oh, sir, do you mind if I record you? Do you mind if I record your mind? Okay. So to make sure this is live, make sure there's no violence here.
I gotta go home and have lunch too. Now I just might have had a
So
workout.
Supervisor Lee Reinhardt, quick question. I know you're the supervisor here. I've been here for 7 weeks now. So why does everyone take off their name tags out of here? You know, for the last couple of weeks, they've all had their name tags to be properly identified. Everyone here doesn't have their name tags. The only person with a name tag is Matthew Huber over there, but everyone else doesn't have their name tag. Can you answer why?
There's not a requirement for bylaw to have name tags.
Not a requirement, okay. So it's just personal preference. So why did everyone take their personal preference not to wear it today when they have it in the past?
They don't have them at all. That's why.
Well, how come you and Matthew Huber have one?
It's personal preference.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you.
But we gotta be focused.
So mass ticketing again, and we have the officer here taking photos. This is the Hamilton officer assigned to take photos of the protest. I'm assuming for court evidence. Officer, so what exactly do the photos go to? Is it going to court evidence? Is it going to these tickets? Is it going for police records or something? But guys, before I go into my report, let me remind you, we're going to be kicked off YouTube very soon. We have a strike, and they just updated their terms of services. We don't know how long we have, So be sure to head over to rebelnews.com for all of our latest updates, and be sure to give us your email so we can always keep in touch. Nothing to say? Sure, I understand.
Let's get to the truth, my friend. Pfizer vaccine companies here in Canada.
So, sir, I'm assuming you're one of the supervisors here?
Dr. Shiva shows you
So
the
what goes on here today? Why is there such a show of force for simply 7 people here?
The India government, to their credit, turned them down in December.
So here's 2 880s being handed out right now. As I said, guys, Hamilton/Ontario under Doug Ford's leadership is a police state. You have to give ID, not for health, not for anything like that. It's simply to ticket you 880 minimum, or a court summons for up to 100,000. As you guys know, this is just 12 p.m. It's a freedom protest. 5 people were here. And that's enough to bring out this many officers and bylaw.
This is way overkill. There's maybe 5 protesters here and 17, 18. He didn't have more than like 4 or 5 people around. So this was something you don't even have to pay to. And don't you have to pay like double time to have bylaw people working on a holiday or a Sunday?
I can't confirm or deny that, but it's just the fact that they're out here ticketing people in a free country, supposedly, but they're ticketing 880 each to everyone in attendance.
Well, that's why I was afraid to even come over to talk to you, but thank you for your work on this.
Oh, thank you.
I don't agree with everything, but I surely don't think a small protest on a holiday weekend requires this kind of firepower and people.
It's tyranny, I'm telling you, my friend.
Jesus, are they throwing away their tickets already?
You got an 880 ticket, I'm assuming?
Oh, I got 2.
2 880s.
Well, actually, 2 880s. I don't know. I didn't even look at them.
And I'm assuming you get one from the city itself for trespassing or something?
I got an 880 and I got 2 880 tickets.
That's unbelievable. What do you have to say to like this government, and let's say, Doug Ford's watching right now, what do you have to say to him?
Doug Ford, you're a disgrace. Follow the Bill of Rights, read it, and maybe stop giving people so much power. There's 6 people here. How many tens of thousands of dollars are spent to harass 6 people?
So I want to showcase that live.
6
So
people standing
this
out here.
is another ticket.
All right. Now my voice is too loud. Well, I wonder why. Because all of us, we've got righteous anger. Those of us that want to get this country back on track.
So, sir, what was that ticket just for? Just for being too loud, you said?
Too loud, she said. Yes. I don't know. They're getting their call on the high-ups with all this ticketing. I don't get it, man. Unbelievable. But you know what, my friends? This is how we win.
This is how it works. Every single weekend, 880 tickets minimum, including the reporter. But there's no discretion. So for those watching, that's a couple back there just coming out here to protest, and they were ticketed 880 just for being outside. Like this is crazy. And the reason is for not being within 2 meters. These bylaw officers don't live with each other. They're all within 2 meters of each other. This is not about a virus. This is about intimidation. This is just to scare people and to get them 880 tickets, to get into the court system, to put them through the process. That's part of the punishment for coming out here. So you want to sit up for the camera. So I've been trespassed for what again? So can you explain why have I been trespassed for? I haven't been given any notice. So guys watching, I've been trespassed for simply reporting and putting it on my blast. Because they're afraid to see this in public. They're afraid to see what they're doing in Hamilton, Ontario. And I've been trespassed for simply holding the camera to them. They're just afraid, and people don't want to see this. I want to show you guys live. And they go right back to City Hall. Like I said, they actually do round 2 if people don't disperse. They wait patiently in there. Not within 2 meters, obviously. You guys don't live in the same households, don't forget that. And you guys are out here ticketing people for handshaking. Like I said, this is City Hall. No one's ever, from the protesters, ever come inside here to harass any of the people here. This is simply a protest outdoors. Yet, do you guys see them? They're not within 2 meters of each other. They're actually taking off their gear.
I've lived in Hamilton 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed of this.
You're obviously a taxpayer. You're here. You've seen this.
Look, I'm ashamed of this. I support reasonable COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
I will wear a mask. That's why. That's why I put a mask on, because I heard heard you talking other Sundays here that they will run out there to somebody that's just standing on the sidewalk and hand them a ticket.
People who walk by at the wrong time and they talk to someone here, they're interpreted as a protester.
Rebel News will fight your fines, but unfortunately there's thousands of them. That may be 6 months or a year. That stress of waiting for, meanwhile, I'm not working because I'm forced away from not working from the government.
Yeah.
And you know Doug Ford's at his cottage this weekend.
He's having a good time, probably.
You know he probably drove up there and will stay up there, and I have no problem with that. But to say to poor people, I was sitting across the road, there weren't more than 5 or 7 people here, and there were just casual people listening.
Exactly.
And look at the firepower that came out for that. Either all of us have rights or none of us have rights.
It's selective enforcement.
And if you don't think these people should have rights, then one day they're coming for you.
Exactly.
Right?
To our viewers, so you two, were you guys both ticketed? Or is it a single ticket?
No, we got ticket each.
Ticketed each.
Both got ticketed.
Can you explain for what reason were you guys ticketed?
Violating the Ontario stay-at-home orders under the Ontario Reopening Act.
Oh my God.
Which we regard that act as completely unconstitutional. So we're here standing up for our rights.
What do you guys think of the taxpayers' money being put to this?
I think it's a terrible waste of taxpayers' money. Yeah, they should be catching criminals, real criminals.
And as you saw, there's a dozen bylaw and a half a dozen police to back them up.
Yeah, huge amount of resources devoted to just a very small group of us here.
I assume that they're trying to do this to intimidate people. Do you guys feel intimidated when you see that?
Well, in the beginning, a little bit. We know that that's their tactic.
Yeah.
It's intimidation, and the tickets are intimidation. So that modifies the level of fear a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's too bad that they feel they have to do that. We would hope that more of them would be on our side too.
My last question, is not bothering you guys, would be, will this deter you from future protesting? Are you guys going to come out here and do your thing?
No, we're going to still come out. Yeah, because it's a matter of principle.
Our Rebel viewers will help crowdfund your legal defense to help fight these tickets, because we have a top team of lawyers that will go through these and make sure to go through the entire process, because we understand that part of the process is to go through the legal punishment of following your tickets, having the anxiety of whether or not you're going to be thrown out, whether you're going to go in jail. If you guys do sign out, what did it say to Rebel viewers who would take on your tickets and help crowdfund your legal defense?
Well, we'll say thank you very much.
Now, as you know, Justin Trudeau has actually come out in defense of these protesters for the right to free assembly in a free country. However, he only said that when it came to the pro-Palestine protests. He has nothing to say for the lockdown people. But the rule still applies because it's pretty vague. And yet people are still being pelleted with tickets. Now, guys, after every single protest, the reason why there's such low numbers at the Hamilton City Hall protest is that they've actually moved on to a different strategy. I didn't report this not to give them away, but in an undisclosed location in Hamilton, Ontario, they actually have a family fun-friendly barbecue with music, and they have a good time. And they try to distract the revenue agents from raiding their local park. But I'd like to report that despite dozens of tickets being handed out to these protesters and a couple of tickets handed to me for reporting, that the protest still continues and that their spirit is still high.
You ready? On the count of 3, freedom! 1, 2, 3. Freedom!
Now, if you like this kind of reporting, be sure to head over to Lockdown Reports. For me, it's not a big deal to head over to Hamilton, Ontario, but some of my colleagues are heading over across Canada, Manitoba, Montreal, all across Alberta. So check it out if you want to see more reports and chip in if you like. Take care. Hope you enjoyed. Signing off, Efron Monsanto for Rebel News. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more reports like this, head over to lockdownreports.com. That way you can see my reports and all of my other colleagues' reports across Canada, showing you what's going on in this crazy time. Chip in if you like. My trips to Hamilton aren't a big deal. However, if you want to support some of the bigger trips we do to Montreal and cross country, feel free. And thanks again. Take care. Bye.